So jumping into subject lines, the data that we were able to pull shows that shorter subject lines on average perform better. Although, as David shared in the example, that should inspire you to test things, not necessarily ignore what your members are doing. You definitely want to see how your members are reacting. Subject lines under 40 characters were kind of the sweet spot, with the highest performance being for subject lines under 9 characters. That being said, that's the highest for open rates, but for click rates, it was more the 30 to 39. So a little bit longer sometimes gives people a sense of what the email is really about, and thus they're then primed to take action potentially. But again, it's just kind of something to test. And as a reminder, as I put on the slide, most inbox previews are only going to show your recipients about 33 to 40 characters. So that could also be influencing why those subject lines under 40 characters perform best, because they're not getting cut off. The other thing we saw in the data, though, was that most associations in the data set are sending messages with subject lines between 40 and 60 characters or over 60 characters. So this is a real area of opportunity to try to shorten subject lines, or at least test shorter subject lines.
Also too, the AI generated summaries and inbox behavior may further reduce how much recipients need to really open in that traditional way. To safeguard against this, you need to ensure that your subject lines are engaging, as you mentioned, and can really stand out in that crowded inbox. We've put together some example subject lines to show how shorter can work to really pique interest and make someone pause. So in other words, maybe put that hook first. Is there a benefit, a deadline, or an action that needs to take place? Make it clear what's inside your message and what matters right now. So for example, you can see maybe instead of sending just newsletter in your subject line every week, try pulling in maybe a standout topic into the subject line, like leadership tips in this week's update. You can also try A/B testing your subject lines using personalization, like Sherilyn, your membership expires soon versus time to renew, and just see which one resonates better with your members. If you are struggling with some new ideas, we do have our AI assistant feature to help generate the perfect subject line to go with your message content. Pre-header text is also just as important and should complement your subject line, not necessarily repeat it. So ideally, pre-headers should be a continuation and provide that urgency or value. To quote one of our partners, Amber Worthen from Email Maven, adding words like and, but, or plus to your pre-header can actually increase your open rates by 19%. So for example, if your subject line were, Q2 starts now, is your strategy ready? Your pre-header, for example, could be plus tools to help you hit your goal. So intentionally write the pre-header copy in your message designer envelope setting so that you control what shows. Otherwise, if you don't set it, many email clients just grab that first line of body text, which might be navigation links or view in browser, so that really becomes just a wasted space.